Hey, how are
What's up,
you?
bro?
I am
I'm
here, my
fine, and
brother.
a lot of people are waking to the sad news of the events that happened in Oregon
Yeah.
of the Congolese man who was killed. Let me show you guys the pictures. Though the video is how uh, that beautiful man, the beautiful couple is no more. You know, that guy is no more. It's died because of you know, the fact that the man is now recorded there. That's the recording of that man while he's dying slowly with the poison and he's shaking. That is the last few seconds of that man dying. And not only him dying, but we do have a lot of our men that are dying in prison, that are being deported, that are now drunkards in Africa. The woman had the guts to actually record that man dying slowly, video that has been trending on social media. Clayton Odo, introduce yourself to Fred Smith Life and let people know who you are. I know you, but some people may not know you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me clearly?
You're very clear, my brother.
Okay. Well, my name is Clayton Odo. I am a Nigerian. I reside here in Houston, Texas for now. I am in social media for those of us who've seen my videos. And I'm one of those very few people right now in the United States that is advocating for a change and for a very powerful awareness in the African community in diaspora about what is happening to men. There's a lot of ministry nowadays for women and so on and so forth. But I think we're coming to a point where there's a tipping point where it has lost its original vision and has turned inherently into a divergent force that is being used now to destroy black men.
Yes.
And we will talk of facts today. Today, I'm really, I mean, this is what unity is about. Unity of purpose, unity. This is my brother Fred. We are
Yes.
brothers. We are brothers. We all came from Africa with a vision, and the idea that the vision will be destroyed because of ignorance. They say our people die and they perish for lack of vision or lack of knowledge. That's what the
Yes.
Bible says. So we must inform ourselves of what is going on over here in diaspora so that men, the boy child, the man child, the African man may not be destroyed in a venture in which he came to change his life or to achieve his dreams and visions. So, my brother, where would you want me to start from?
I want you to start from the fact that we come with dreams. It only turns out to be nasty, muddy. It turns around when our wives arrive here and then they test, not all of them, but a bunch of them, once they test the power that they can have here. Do you think some, not all of them, and I'm not gonna, generalize all of women, but do you think that is where the problem starts when some test this power and then they want to serve you your own medicine?
Thank you very much, my brother. We have to understand, and this is one thing people don't understand, and it's something I went through. I'm sure it's something you went through, that the United States, it's a unique culture in itself. And a lot of things that the United States has claimed to be is that it has claimed to be the lamp on the hill, the shining light that is an example for all. But one of the things we are beginning to see is which of those examples do you take? And which of those examples does intrinsic knowledge show you is not good for the society anymore? Everything is coming out from here, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let us now look at it from the aspect of the African man. No African man came to America because he just wants to come to America to eat hamburgers. We left Africa based on poverty. And since we left Africa to go to greener pastures, in our mind, there's no African man that comes here just to come here because he likes the streets or because he wants to live in a place where there's snow falling. We came here with a vision and a dream, number one. But unfortunately for us, you can go into a place and the history of that place begins to affect you. America has had this history of feminism and racism. those two things. I want to now, my brother, go in from the racist point of view. There has been a concerted effort from the beginning of time to destroy the black man. Please let us know that Trump's, for example, Donald Trump's ticket was based on a lash out against Obama having been president of America. Racism is alive and well in America. So at some point, the white man had to come in and find ingenious ways to make racism work. One of the ways was to destroy the black family. There was a time in the history of this country that the laws started to be formulated around the black man being removed from his house, first of all. In New York, in the early 19th century, 18th century, there was the man in the house rule. It was a law that you could not get welfare if you had a man in the house. So the white man, the easiest way he could do to destroy the family was, first of all, make sure the man doesn't have a job. Then the woman would go to the welfare office to say, hey, my husband doesn't have a job, we don't have money, I need welfare. Then they'll say, is there a man in that house? She says, yes. It's okay, we cannot give you welfare. He must have a job. But how can you have a job if the owners of the land will not give you a job? So therefore, the woman has to come back and she starts getting angry with the man, and the man doesn't know where the anger is from. And then the next thing he knows, the woman throws him out. Then she now goes back to the welfare office and tells the welfare office, the man is no more in the house. I don't have a man in the house and I don't have money. Then they now give her welfare. This led to the greatest damage in the Black American community we have ever seen. Black American women were removing their men out of the house to get money. Then they created the laws. If there's a divorce, if there's a separation, the man will pay child support plus alimony. Women started thinking more on the money aspect. And don't forget, the American society is capitalistic. The law of tort is about money. It's not about community. Now, the United States of America is dealing with a disaster. Example, the city of Chicago, where we have more homicides in Chicago than we have in any part of the world if care is not taken, because of a whole generation of kids growing up without their fathers. A whole generation of boys have grown up without their fathers to show them how to be a man. So the only people that stepped into the space to give them a chance to be a man was the gangs, the gang system, the street, the law of the street. And so now we have homicide in Chicago that is beyond understanding. Now, Americans, inadvertently, the system has created, I was talking about this with you, my brother, the new hierarchy law. What is the hierarchical ladder in the United States of America? The hierarchical ladder is white man first. Number 2, white woman. The new hierarchical law now, number 3 is Hispanic woman. Number 4, Hispanic man. Number 5 is the black woman. The last on the ladder is the black man. And
so where are we standing as Africans?
We are the last, as black men are the last on the ladder of the hierarchy in the United States. It is the white man, white woman, Hispanic woman, Hispanic man, black woman, black man. That is the line. And we are seeing that reflected in the society. Black women are getting jobs. Black men cannot get jobs. It is on design. Because when your wife now holds the money, she comes and she doesn't want to respect you again in the house. She says you should get out of the house. You're useless. It is by design that they know that the intrinsic brain work of someone who came from poverty to America and may see money may most likely be that she will throw her man out of the house, or the fabric of the family will be destroyed.
So in that, Udo, are you referring to our now African women? Some of our African women, not all. We have to be very careful when you do that.
Not all.
Not all of them.
Not all.
A lot of them. But
a lot of them. A lot of them.
Once some of them test the money, and Esther Mlusa is asking about the Chinese and the Indians. That's something you're gonna go to, because on a video that went viral with, I don't know, 100,000 views, you discuss on how Chinese and Indians are able to get out of this. What were you trying to say? You even talked about the Koreans.
Yes. I'm going to explain that to my brother. First of all, you also have to look at history. You have to look at something very, very powerful, and which is the history. It is very strange for me to say this, and I will say this historically. The Chinese have been treated very badly here in the United States of America. And the Chinese went through so many wars. Going to the history of China, when it comes to bloodshed, bloodshed was nothing in China. From the time of when they were little tiny empires to the present day, China was a very, very bloody land, plus what international societies did to them.
Yes.
So when communism took over in China, if you remember, just as of yesterday, China was inaccessible. China was inaccessible. By the time the Chinese had finally arranged their society and came out from their society into the world again, don't forget that by the time I was in secondary school and university, nobody knew what was going on in China. You couldn't get into China, and Chinese were not coming out of China. There was a reorganization going on inside China. By the time the Chinese came out, it's like they came out with a predisposed mantra in their head. You will not see Chinese men in American courts being taken there by their wives. And you will not see Chinese women in American courts being taken there by their men. It's like they know that as they've come to America or any part of the world, they're on their own. That none of these people are their friends. And that is what has led to the greatness of China. China being nuclear is because they stole nuclear secrets from America. China being what it is because the unity of their people. It doesn't matter if they come into your country to play around with your people or to do whatever they're doing. Part of the biggest plan China has is the colonization of your area. And it doesn't mean, and they will, even if it means that they must come and sleep with your women to produce second generation Chinese, they will do it. We are now going through the second colonization wave.
Industry, they're doing it in Africa. They have done it in Zambia,
in Africa,
Kenya, they're doing it.
In Nigeria, they're doing it, and the key word of it is poverty. And women will go and stick to them. Oh, I don't have money, so they stick and stand with a Chinese man. His original plan is colonization. That child coming out will speak Chinese, will be fluent in Chinese Mandarin, and will be associated with the Chinese culture. They have begun the colonization because China is not enough for them. China is almost 1/3 of the whole world's population, more than 1 billion people. They need land. They need to break out and spread out. So they started the colonization of Africa. And the problem with African women is they are not operating from a point of knowledge. They're operating from a point of poverty. The African woman now has almost, I say some, not all, but they've almost become, they're always out for the highest bidder. The difference between African women and white women is that there comes a point where the white women can stand back and say, let me really watch this thing and analyze what this thing is all about. Okay? Because if you're looking at it right now, let us say we turn the tables. Before you start that your attack on white men and say you want to deal with white men, suddenly the white women dislink from you. They are sticking with their white men and the racism is complete. It is what we've experienced in the job places, it's what we've experienced in the society, it's what we've experienced everywhere. But don't be surprised that an African woman can be brought out of the crowd to help a white man to do the racism. Like what happened 2 days ago in the United States Congress, where a man was trying to say Trump is not racist, and he brought a black woman to come and stand with him inside the United States Congress. Say, see this black woman, she works for Trump. This is during the hearing for Michael Cohen, the personal lawyer of Trump. You saw that incident. Yes. And it became a very big explosion. That a black he said, I want to show you Trump is not racist. So he brought a black woman. And the black woman came and stood by him. He said, see, she works for Trump. Only black women can do that. And I say some, not all. But I am saying right now that the thing you're seeing right now, the African community has the most amazing and horrible divorce rate in America. This Houston, me and you are in Texas now, my brother, is full of women with children, unmarried. My church, 2/3 of my church is women unmarried with children. And the story is the same. All the men are evil. Is it all the men that are evil?
No.
The story is the same. All the men are evil. Or is it that they've picked up what this society is doing, which is a society wants to separate black men from black women? Because if you can do that, you've destroyed the family structure. This anger, let me give you another thing, because the man was talking about the Chinese. Koreans, they had wars. And the Koreans have been, their history is so violent that they have been conditioned. The Korean man swears for the Korean woman, and the Korean woman swears for the Korean man. Money or no money. These Indians have had numerous wars, and they were also colonized by the British. And as we're speaking, they're still fighting. I think yesterday, airstrike by India on Pakistan.
Yes.
They are still fighting heavy wars. Indian men swear by Indian women swear by Indian men. Whether we make $1, whether we make $400,000. In my industry, because I do IT, Indian women are making $200,000, $300,000, $150,000 a year. In my industry, it's what I've seen with my eyes. You see them have only one car. The woman will be waiting for the man to come and pick her. You know these people have money to buy 5 cars. I am not saying that that is a good way to live. But why is it that the woman insists that it must be her and her husband in every move? They swear by themselves. And here's another thing I want to challenge our Africans. Any African man that can come on this show and say he has gone out with an Indian woman, come and tell me. They do not go out with you. They will not even marry you. They will never go out with you. How many of our men have tried to go and have sex with these Indian women? You will never penetrate. Same, you will never. No, my brother, we're in Texas. Are we not in this Texas?
You can't.
You will never penetrate to have sex with Indian women. You will not penetrate. Even if you're not careful, you cannot penetrate and have sex with Chinese women. They ignore you. They stick to their men. And the Indian women stick to their men. And the Korean women stick to their men. But when it
Arabs
comes to
too, even Arabs.
The Arab women just look at you and pass. And you know, here in Houston, those Arabs with that oil money, they are the richest set of women you can ever dream of. You see them cover that thing all the way here with that hole, the cover. They will never talk to you and they'll ignore you. As long as you're black, they will never associate with you. But when it comes to our women will sleep with anything.
Huh?
And I'm saying some. I am not saying I'm racist, but I'm saying that there is a sense of community in all these other cultures. There is a sense of we are together and we must be careful. There is nobody that is our friend. I have worked for years in IT companies. I'll try very hard before those Indians allow you to become their friend. They will not even invite you to their house. I've invited them to my house. Come to my house and eat and drink. The greatest friend, I'm talking that they really love you, is they brought you food that they cooked in their house to the workplace and gave it to you. They don't let you into their world. Our people will let anything into their world. Let me show you how it's working, my brother, because I'm not trying to say this to make anybody angry. And God knows I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart based on experience. There is an epidemic of divorce in the African community, and the anger is manufactured. The other day, I was watching an article. A woman came out and said, this feminism that we started, we didn't know it was going to go this far. I will send you the link. She said it has gone too far. It has gone too far. The anger was manufactured. The other day, I was talking to an African woman. Oh, men do this. Men have done that. The biggest one is men are cheating. And then right now in Harvard University, a research was done that women now cheat more than men. But where is this argument? You see this argument in the atmosphere, on cyberspace, everywhere. Men are always cheating. Men are always cheating, so kill them. Men are cheating, so crucify them. Yes. Men are cheating, so do this and do that to them. And there's this anger that is being whipped up, this manufactured anger. In fact, people have come as close as saying God made a mistake to create men. God has made a mistake. And it is an anger that was manufactured in this country so that black women will turn on their men. Because if you look at it, are you going to say that the Indian men are better than African men? No. I've seen Indian men, what they do to their women. Are you going to say these Chinese men are better than African men? No. They are not the ones taking their women to Dubai and spending all this money. They're not. Case in point, I was looking at it, I just laughed. I said, I just laughed. I went to Starbucks, a coffee shop, to go and drink coffee. Sat down there, a Chinese man, fully grown man. He parked a Mercedes-Benz E350, came out with a woman. And I could see the way they were behaving, that their boyfriend, girlfriend. Rich man, if you see the watch on his hand, Philip Patek. He came, he paid for his coffee, and the woman paid for her own. I looked at this thing, I said, Meanwhile, the woman is sticking to him. She loves him. She's with him. They're two Chinese people. And I said to myself, an African woman, you're driving an E350, you're wearing this kind of watch, you have this kind of money, and you came and you made her pay for her coffee. Will we hear the end of that story? The African woman will embarrass you till there's nothing left to embarrass. You're supposed to pay for her coffee and pay her rent and buy her cell phone and do so many other things. And even with our men doing these things, there's no respect.
Yes.
I am telling you here that the divorce is this divorce rate that our African women came to this country and imitate, they just kick into the atmosphere of the system and start hating our men and being angry with is manufactured. Our men are not worse than other races of men. And when I look at what other races are doing, I mean, a man will make 200,000 and the wife is making 300,000, but he insists that there's only one car in the house. In Africa, can you do that?
No.
You will hear what they will say. I see what Indians are doing. Indian man will wear the same jeans and the same t-shirt for years as a fellow engineer. The women will wear that wrapper thing every day to work. Oh, she will change it maybe once or twice. The way they smell, they're not using perfume. They are making 200,000, 300,000. No divorce. Our women will make only LVN 40,000, RN 80,000, and the marriage is over.
We have no peace. No peace.
My brother, this thing I'm saying that this manufactured anger is not right. The manufactured anger is not right. It's manufactured. Let me show you something. I was talking to a sister the other day, and she said something very interesting. And I want to hand over back to you so you can make your, because I've said a lot. The sister was saying, man, what they did, they cheated, they did this, they did that. I asked her, have you had a man that you slept with? Like you slept with the man and you just walked away? You understand? Like you were with him and you just walked away. And that when you walked away, you didn't look back. She said, yes. I said, how do you think that man felt when you did that? I said, let me ask you another question. Every man that you've counted as they did this, they did that to you, did you want to marry them? No. So why is it so personal? If those men had succeeded in making you pregnant and you now had children for them, would you have married them? She said no. She would have even wanted those people to be the father of her children. So why do you guys go back into the history and bring forward all these issues and make it so personal? She said, I don't know. I said, you see, it's manufactured. They're using social media. They're using so many things to manufacture things. And now the African community is decimated. Divorce. Houston. My brother, you're here in Texas. I don't need to go far. Just go to a party in a hall. It's loaded with divorced women with three kids, four kids. What kind of America is it? That money cannot replace a father. The function of a father in the children's life. What kind of money is it? For how much money? And if you go and listen, put your ears to the ground to see what separated them. Arrogance. It has nothing to do with a true serious case. So he said this, he did that. Me, I cannot take that nonsense. They start talking like I cannot take that bullshit and shit anymore. Fuck that. What is that about as we as Africans?
Very
so
true.
My advice,
Brother Clayton, when you do the analysis, on this geographical location, which African women are more notorious for this kind of vice? Like when they get here, they become really bad. Where are they located? Which countries can you mention?
The poorer the country, the worst. That's what I'm saying now. The poorer the country, the worst. Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana. I am seeing, surprisingly enough, a few in Cameroon. A few. Yes. Cameroon.
Yes.
Then I don't want to talk about countries like Togo, Sierra Leone, war-torn Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, and those horrible. Everybody's holding a baby, no man. And everybody's saying that did something, and I'm going to say this for the benefit of women. Did something bad happen to you? Yes. something bad may have happened to you. But another thing I'm noticing now is it is not even one case or two cases. Just one is enough. You're done. Because in your mind, I'll go to court and separate and take the house and take the car and get money from him. Just one case is enough. There is no like effort to say, no, he made one mistake. Let me sit down and try to fix it with him. No, this microwave generation, microwave oven, this generation wave, they put bread, toaster, come out in 5 seconds. Food is in 5 seconds in microwave. If you go to a shop, you can return your clothing. Everything is like computer generation. If anything happens, they throw the husband away as if he's something they bought in the supermarket and can return it. That is what is going on now. And the situation is, unlike our parents who used to work things out, we're developing a generation that they cannot negotiate. It's either their way or the highway. It's either you do it as I like. It doesn't matter if you're uncomfortable. It doesn't matter how you feel. You do it as I like or the marriage is over, because that is what they're doing in America. But as I'm saying right now, there is generation. Also, we are seeing the results. A huge number of African kids are now entering into prison. Prison
Yes.
now. You're hearing African surnames in American. The fool now.
Yes.
African surnames.
I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes.
My brother, it is horrible. You're hearing African surnames now. Something that you never used to hear. You hear Udofia. You hear in Jeremy. You're hearing African names in the prisons here now in huge numbers. Because as a mother, see what happens. Okay, I won't take that shit. I won't take that fuck. I won't take this. I won't take fuck that. They start saying things like they talk here. Bullshit,
Yes.
bullshit. They throw the man out. But guess what? The money won't be the same anymore. So the woman now has to do 2 or 3 jobs to cover. In these 2 or 3 jobs that she's doing to cover the household, she's not in the house anymore to watch the children. She's not in the house anymore. The children are turning into something else. And this is not a country like Africa where you have cousins who can come to the village and serve as default houseboy or house girl or proxy houseboy or house girl. It's not like that here. Here, when you're alone, you're alone. There's no houseboy. And if by some chance you go and pick a houseboy, according to the federal laws, you must pay them minimum wage, $10 an hour. Where do you have that kind of money to pay? That's the federal minimum wage. You have to you register with the state to get a houseboy, a house girl to watch your children. You pay $10 an hour, minimum wage. So nobody is having, like back home, it's not a problem. You will have 3 cousins that come from the village to live with you or people. Now, this is what's happening. These children are out of their way. I know persons personally. Before she knew it, her daughter was on Instagram naked. Personally, her daughter is removing her clothes, taking pictures. Some of these girls that you see, these huge girls on Instagram, these Instagram girls are actually 18 years old or 19-year-olds. Very small girls that because of the food of this land and the weather, they look huge. They are a lot of those girls, second generation Africans, my brother.
And for those who are joining us, we are coming to the sad news of the poisoned Congolese man. Another have become a problem. The man was poisoned by the wife. And what is the story, Clayton?
My brother, I'm going to tell you the story of this one. I'm the one that posted it on my site.
That is the man.
Are you ready?
The last kicks of the man from Congo after being poisoned by the wife because of small stuff, tax money. The man is dead just like that. And the woman is kind like talking and recording instead of helping.
Let me tell you what is going on, my brother.
And that is the family. Actually, it's so sad. That is the family. That is the family. That is the person you call your wife, and then she does that to you. That's a woman who did that to him. And it happened in Portland, Oregon, isn't it?
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Now, I'm going to give you the backdrop for what is going on also in the African society now, the African community. Here in the United States, they have, you know what I'm about to talk about, my brother. They have the most efficient tax collecting system in the world. So they collect taxes from you in everything. Wherever your money has entered, I don't care. Whether you're building a house, whatever you do, whether you buy stocks or you buy shares or whatever you do, they collect money from you. At the end of the year and the beginning of the next year, They will send you documents. All these people you've spent money with or you've collected money from, like salary, will send you a special document which you use to file your tax records. You know what I'm talking about, my brother. So when you file your tax records, there are 3 scenarios you can fall into. You paid enough taxes and you're good to go. Scenario number 2, you paid less than you should pay. And so when you file your tax records, they will now tell you you owe. And you have to cut a check immediately and send to the IRS, the Internal Revenue Services, or you get into trouble. The Internal Revenue Service is one of the most powerful organizations in the United States in that they can take your house, they can take your car, they can stop you from working, they can interfere with your bank accounts, they can do anything. So you pay them that money. If you can't pay immediately, you go into a payment plan. Or you paid too much taxes and they now return money back to you in a check. Now, a lot of people normally, to be smart, pay more. And at the end of the year, there's enough money that they give back to you. And even that money they give back to you, they can add more because your taxes was used by the government for business. So the profit they make, they can return some more back to you. So that is called the tax season. A lot of people collect money between the months of January and May in thousands of dollars, including Africans. You know, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. If you're an African and you have a business in the United States, sometimes 30,000, 50,000, 60,000, depending on how much taxes you paid the year before. That is a miserable time in the African community. A girl who came from wherever village in Africa here and hearing that that kind of money is coming has turned and is almost killing the husband over this money. Suddenly, there's a lot of women I've seen and a lot of men. I'll be fair to women to say a lot of men who, when it comes to money, they lose it. It's no more a marriage. It's now you are separated. It's now like two business. It's like there is no more a marriage. The marriage ends the time that there's money somewhere on the ground.
Yes.
That is a classical background of what happened here. The tax returns came, and this man went and took it. There was no negotiation like, okay, my husband, you took it, so let's do this or let's do that. The next idea is to poison the man. He took the money. If I tell you the number of marriages that have ended on tax returns, meanwhile, you remember what I told you, my brother, when
Yes.
all of us climbed that plane to come to America, we came with a vision. We came here with a dream. We didn't come here because we like this country so much, or we want to be walking through snow. But how does it feel that the person you went and picked up to join you in that vision now poisons you because of dollars? The person that you wanted to build an empire with, a kingdom with, now poisons you or destroys your life because she came to the country and hears that, oh, you can turn on the men, which is a manufactured anger. Is manufactured. When we were in Africa, was it men versus women? No. It wasn't man. When I was growing up in Africa, this idea of man versus woman didn't exist. Or woman versus man.
Not only killing them, Clayton, my brother, there's a lot of our African men now in jail. There is a lot of our African men who have been deported, which means their dreams have been killed. It's not just, killing them.
If I want to go into that, if I want to go into those stories, we will not end today. The number of men who've been deported because of women. I don't want to go into dreams fulfilled and destroyed. I have personal stories, not one, not two. You have spent, okay, can you imagine an African got here when he's 30? At the age of 35 or so, you went back to medical school because you want to help your family. And then you spend medical school here, average, you're going to spend 5 years, 3 years residency. Residency, you're not making any money. It's like apprenticeship, fellowship. You're just in the hospital gaining experience, and they're paying you only 40,000 a year. They're paying you less than, they're paying you the amount they pay a security man. Then after that, your money will kick in. So 8 years. Then you come as a doctor and they give you your license. Take note, that license is incumbent on that you cannot have any police record. You went to work and came back. The woman you brought from Africa just feels like, she must start a quarrel today. She has heard the story. So she starts a quarrel. When I fight, she picks up the phone and calls police. Guess what happens to the man? His license is taken from him. He cannot practice medicine in America anymore.
Yes. I have like seven cases I know.
Several cases. You destroy it, and then she sees she's destroyed, so she's now afraid. She rushes for divorce and takes his house and takes his car. Over what? You know the thing that makes me laugh? That car, how long will it last? That house in a few years is the old-fashioned house. All these things that you're destroying your family and your future generation for is worth nothing. How? So to me, my brother, is poverty. When someone is ready to destroy their family over car, house, money. Okay, you have 3 boys. As a woman, how can you raise 3 boys? You need this man to raise these boys. In the end, is it success if you've thrown the man, you're living in a good house, but every Saturday you're visiting 2 of them in prison? Because they will go to prison because they don't have a father to guide them.
Yeah, the father figure is the street, the gangs.
The gangs, the streets.
The people that are sagging on the
drugs.
Street, that's what they're seeing.
So I don't know what African women are thinking. What is the excitement about America? I was telling someone the other day, what is the excitement about America? Okay, let me show you, like the one I hear is really bad. London, Nigerian women if you saw, there's a video of the London police bringing a Yoruba interpreter to tell the women in Nigeria from London to stop calling the police on their husbands. You know, there's a video like that circulating. I'll send you the video, my brother. The London police has realized that Nigerian women are always calling the police on their husbands. They brought a Yoruba interpreter to tell the women, stop this thing you're doing, because we will not be able to have our economy deal with the recalcitrant boys and all the gangs and everything that you guys, and don't forget, it has already started. Those killings in the streets of London are Yoruba boys, are African boys in London gangs, shooting and killing. And I don't know if you've been hearing the story of the killings in London.
Can I play that quickly?
Yeah, play it, my brother.
Nobody wants to know where it's child. Exactly our Nigerian man pay common pen. But today, what are we saying? It's the opposite. It's the opposite. I think we need to change our orientation. Those of you that feel like, oh, your husband is not important, go back to the roots. See that man, even though he's not doing anything, being at home, sometimes you might want to talk to your child, but your child might not want to listen to you. You might want to listen to his dad. If the dad says, stop it, that child might stop it. But maybe as a mother, you're there on your own, you say, stop it, you just say, what she say? But when the daddy says, stop, he will stop. Even though the man is not doing it.
That is trending so much on social media about the Yoruba men who are actually now suffering because they're being called. The police is being called on them every single minute.
Theresa May passed a law that started to strengthen this idea of when the police arrive, they won't even ask the man what happened. They just take him away, and the woman takes the house and takes everything. Yoruba women all rushed into that new law. The men can't even talk. The men are not even allowed. The men are not even allowed to explain what happened. So the woman can get up in the morning and slap you. And as you open your mouth, you say, oh, and the police will come and take you away and you're done. And I can tell you personal stories of guys who are being set up. The woman can slap you and turn around and all she has to tell the police, I don't feel safe. I don't feel comfortable anymore. And they've taken the man away. What kind of thing? And I'm telling you that the anger is manufactured. What has, in fact, if you go into social media and read what people are writing, the anger is out of control. And men, what did African men do? For example, I've gone and it has now even started to flow back in because of social media. It's flowing back into Africa. African women are talking, your father paid for your school fees to finish secondary school and university. And then you turn on your father. Meanwhile, a lot of these women are telling lies. Like what my father did to my mother. What did he do to your mother? What did he do to your mother? I've asked women, and when you ask them, they start insulting you because they know they are not telling the truth on this thing. What my father did to my mother. Meanwhile, he has paid your school fees. When I came to this country, the Black American men have been reduced to the point they can't even pay school fees for their children. They can do nothing. They're in jail, or the police are shooting them on the streets. The racism and everything is so powerful. Black men cannot rise. And I come and look at that with African men. They've at least tried. They're paying your school fees. They've tried to be with your mother. They didn't throw your mother out of the house in the snow or do anything. But if you see how they've designed the manufactured anger, they manufacture this anger, and Black women are following it left, right. And like I said, Chinese women, Korean women, Indian women, they're not following that thing. They know what these white people are. They're not following that thing. They know these white people, forget it. They're not following it. Only Africans, when they see white people, they get excited.
But again, Clayton, there's something I wanted to address. There's this issue of white men, and I'm not saying our African women should not be married by anybody they want. There's an increase in our women being married by white men. What is going around?
White men are not, you see, here's another thing too about white men. They're very complex people. The simplest women on earth are our women. They're the simplest women on earth. Like I said, there's no brain work in our women. White women are very, very complex people. Because, you see, our women, because of poverty, all they're looking for is a man who can buy them handbag, handbag, wristwatch, give them shoe to wear, and so. They lack brain work. A white woman is different in that she will sit with the white man and say, let's see the accounts. Where is the retirement money going to? You cannot deceive white women like that, though. Where is the retirement money going to? What is the investment portfolio? Where is the college funds for the children? Where is this other money going through? What are our plans? White women are very advanced on that level. You cannot hide white. See, all a white man has to do is he has to come to an African woman and say, hey, baby, what's up with you, baby? And a white woman, that's the first time she's seen a white man. She's heard the accent. And this man is bringing money that she has not seen because she was in the village. And she'll just open up and die and walk around with him and be saying, hey, man, yay, man. No. White women will call. That is why their men run to Black women, because Black women are easy. But here is the question I have for most of our women. Show me how many men in that end of that story got buried in Africa. Like they loved you so much. This was something my father questioned me on. He said, you want to show me all the men in our area who married white women. How many of those women finally agreed to get buried in the village here? Because you bury where your husband comes from. How many of them agreed? In the end, it ended and they went back to their country and died and buried in their country. In that so-called love that we're talking about. Yes. Same with the white men. How many of our white men, they'll say, oh, I come to Ghana and stay with her in Ghana. I come to you and stay with you in Kenya, in Mombasa. I come to you and stay with you in Accra. I come and stay with you everywhere. Yay, man. Yay, man. How many of them, if they love you so much, will die and agree to be buried in your land? That is complete dedication to you and to your ideals. They won't. They have their brain work. They know what they're doing with their lives. And a lot of our girls would die. I mean, a lot of those men may die. Like there were several women in our area. Those men died and you don't see where the money went to. You don't know where the money went to. He left you with a house and maybe with a car and a few things, and he died. And you will not have that courtesy that a lawyer contacted you from Germany to say, he put you in the will and this is what he said in the will for you. You'll be shocked to discover there were other people that money went to. So our women, there's no calculation. When I mean calculation of you join with a man and build your own empire and know what is going on around you. And if people come with ideologies or ways of thinking that says, destroy your men, you say, are you destroying your own like that? Okay, let me give you a classical example. Look at Trump. Look at Trump. Look at that kind of a character. And look at his wife holding his hand, walking with him everywhere he goes. Think about an African woman how she would televise Trump, as useless as he is, the way he talks and the way he behaves and how irresponsible he is.
With all his
White people,
conduct.
with all his conduct, white people white people protect their own. Same with Chinese, same with Koreans, same with Hispanics, same with Indians. The only people, and the white people studied it and knew it, that the only people that they can use to help destroy the black man is the black woman. Watch very carefully. This anger that the women have come here and they're scattering all their families, manufactured. There's nothing that the white men are not doing or men are not doing around the world that is any different though. Same with women. There's nothing they say women nag. Which woman doesn't nag? Women nag in Ghana, women nag in Nigeria, women nag in Cameroon, women nag in London. So therefore, do we kill women? They say women can be very, very emotional. Of course, all women are emotional. All, including my sisters. So do we say that women are useless? Women can be irrational sometimes because they reason in one way and we reason in another way. Do we now say because women reason this way and we reason that way, so therefore you see, what you're seeing is complete condemnation of men. You see us saying, oh, we've condemned women, and we start even beginning to question God. Why did they even create women? Let me show you. I want to tell you about something else, my brother. Very, very powerful. This last Oscar Awards, Academy Awards, a man wore a gown to the Academy Awards.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about. He wore a gown. I think Brian Postor was his name. I mean, a full-scale gown. And people were like, oh, this, oh, that. But one guy came up and said, have you noticed that every black actor in Hollywood, in one time or other in his career, has been forced to either wear female clothes and act, or act a movie in which he acted as a female? Okay. Watch the average black American woman, her retinue or investment portfolio of friends. She'll have girls who are her friends. The best friends next in line are gay men. A lot of women have a lot of gay friends here because they know fashion, because they know how to make your hair, because they know everything about nails and stuff like that. But the question I ask is, why is it that you're comfortable with a man that acts like a woman and not with a man that acts like a man? Why is it that if men are feminized, if a man is effeminate and is lower than is effeminate and is feminized, then you're comfortable, you're fine. He's not a threat. But if a man comes as a normal man, he's a jerk. He's a sadist. He is the new word now, the new buzzword, toxic masculinity. He is full of toxic masculinity. He's this and he's that. You know, he's a jerk. He's this and he's that. Why is it that men are talk so that men now are encouraged more? Your life can be more easier if you're gay, because women will like you. Or your life can be more easier if you're effeminate. Why is it so? And why is that force always directed towards black men? So this thing I am telling you about, my brother, and I pray that this live broadcast, that it will be spread around, is that black women need to wake up and look at the history of what happened to black men in this country. And when you fly in a plane and come into this country and you join in that history to continue destroying black men, you will have yourself to blame. Because it's not only destroying the man for revenge, but it is now showing statistics and evidence-wise on what happens to the children. The other time, a woman said to me, it doesn't matter. After all, Obama became president. Well, Obama didn't throw the wife out, and the wife didn't throw him out. The poor professor died in a car accident, the man from Kenya. He died in a car accident. And then the woman took care of Obama. And my very greatest pain is that woman didn't live to see what the son became. And nor did the father live to see that his son, as he came from Africa, would become president of America. But the idea that you need to throw the man out because of money, because the courts will support you, and that he has a possibility to become like Obama because Obama didn't have a father. That's another story entirely, which I don't understand. In the end of the story, nobody, like women have pointed out, we don't need to have a man in our life. I agree, if that is how you see it. I don't need to contour to a man. I don't need to submit to a man. Who is submitting? Or the recent language you're hearing, the patriarchal order of things. The patriarchal order, that is the order in which fathers were in charge. and fathers and boys inherit, that we need to destroy it. All these ideas coming from Western civilization. Where does it put the men? And I always ask women who have sons, which world do you want your sons to live in? Because you guys have pushed it to the point now that if a woman says, I was sexually assaulted, the man loses his job without even going to court. America has pushed it to the point that all a woman has to do is to accuse you and say you sexually assaulted me, and you lose your job before due process.
Yes.
Before due process. And I'm saying, do you remember your sons are also going to walk in this same world that you've created? Your sons, some of you women who have boys, that your boy, if a woman sees him and says, why is he so confident? Why is he acting like he's all that? All she needs to do is set in an accusation and he's going to jail. And there are some people who are, my brother, I'm not saying all women, but some are demonically possessed. Because I have seen women who just, a man being confident, and they're troubled. Why is he standing like that, so confident, showing off? Who told you he's showing off? No, my brother, I've seen it though. Like he thinks he's all that, and especially you're speaking straight English. You're trying to, if you didn't speak English well, they'll say he's a bushman. You speak English well, there is problem. He's arrogant. He's arrogant. Okay, so how do you want the man to live? If he didn't speak English well, he's a bushman. No, I don't deal with uneducated bushmen like that. He should take his, okay, he now speaks good English. Oh, he's showing off. He's arrogant. He's all this, he's all that. And then now we live in a world that all that woman has to do is to turn around and say, he sexually assaulted me and he goes to jail. Is that the world we're creating? My brother, I'm telling you that what is happening here in America is manufactured anger against men. It's an agenda, a secret agenda to destroy black men. And one of the parts, like I said, is a hierarchical line. Black women
but already look at the prisons. It's actually 50%, more than 50%.
No, wrong. 85% black.
Okay.
That is why Trump had to pass the new law on
then
information.
Hispanics, then a few whites.
A few whites.
African...
It is 85% black. 1 in every 4 black man is in jail. 1 in every 4 black man is in jail in the United States. And Africans are now making a high percentage of that. And in this 1 in every 4, Trump had to, I'm talking about the US Congress, in an emergency move, created the Reformed Criminal Act, which was passed here in Trump's regime to change this situation. And I can tell you now that a lot of that percentage of those men in jail is our African women are putting them in jail. Can you imagine how you left your village? Already, to get a visa is even more than finding gold. Then you manage to get a visa. And then you manage against, this is Africa where people are having accidents and dying. People will get sick with malaria and die. You stayed alive till you were able to get a ticket. And then you made it alive to the airport. And then you made it alive into that plane. And then you landed in America. When you landed, I landed in America with $200 in my pocket before I became an engineer. Then you land with no money in your pocket, and then you struggle. And in your mind is a dream. In your mind is a vision. Then the woman you went and brought destroyed it. Not a white man destroyed it all. Not a Chinese man destroyed it all. Not an Indian man destroyed it all. Your own sister destroyed it. Your wife. The woman you call the wife. And what is her problem? I'm in America. So I'm excited. And she destroyed everything.
Clayton.
Yes.
We have been looking at percentages, or even any reports. I've not seen any report where an African man called police on their wives so that they can lose that LVN license or RPN license or doctor's license. We have not called police on them so they lose their license. But all of our African men are now working construction. They are working the warehouse because they lost their LVN licenses.
African men in record numbers cannot have a bank account because their wives took them to the court, and the court entered into their bank account and killed their bank account over money that they should pay to the wives, when already this man had spent all the money he had in putting the woman in school. Immediately the woman graduated from school, she turned on the man because she has seen money. How much money? $80,000. How much money? $50,000. Inside this money, the woman has not visited Africa since she came to America. I want to show you how small the money is. She cannot conveniently buy a ticket and go back to the land where she came from to visit her people. She cannot. Inside this 50,000, some of this money people think is really much, but over here they're paying bills. You're paying your rent. You're paying everything. So this woman cannot even take even the tax money that you poisoned your husband for. It's not enough for you to pay to Africa and go and take care of your people.
There's a first report of an African man who actually messed up with a spouse's, license. Judy says the man brought her down. We're gonna be hearing that next. But before you finish, I want you to advise the boy child, the African boy child, what should they do? Because I know of stories where African men have dropped out of school to support their wives, or left a lot of their other dreams just to make sure that their wives succeeded in going to school. What is your advice in general to the African boy?
I'm going to say some things to men today. And I want to thank you, first of all. I want to really thank you for bringing me on your show. As you can see, I'm very, very passionate. The way I'm speaking, the force I'm speaking with is because I'm passionate for men.
Yes.
Men should not be destroyed in the middle of their vision and dreams. Okay? First, all men. This is a problem I'm seeing. When we go to church, their men are not in church. They are working too hard. 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. If you have 4 jobs, cancel one, go to church, pray to God sincerely, be close to God. I'm not trying to say this as a religious nut or religious psychopath, but be close to God. 1, our men are not in church. Over here, I'm talking about what I'm seeing over here and overseas. I've attended several churches. The men are too busy trying to make this money. And 4, 5 jobs, 3, 4 jobs. I'm not saying don't survive, but find time to pray to God. 2, do not follow this culture. Leave women alone. You don't have the luxury of to go to the club and be throwing money at strippers and acting like you're part of this society, because the society does not support you. That money you're throwing away, use it to go and do a course. There are courses online. There are classes online. All universities in America are now doing online because they've seen the new America. Not everybody has time to go to a class 8 to 5. Do a course. Get more degrees. Educate yourself. Go for classes. It's all over the place. Go online. Don't use your phone to be talking to women on Facebook. There are classes on how to sell real estate. Real estate is what made Trump what he is. Go and learn how to sell houses. Go and learn how to trade in oil. There are classes, free classes, free. Go to sites like udemy.com. Go to, even if you just print there, I want to know how to buy a caterpillar, or I want to know how to buy a skyscraper. Go and put it in Google. Don't use your phone. Leave women. Leave women alone. Put it, learn something while you're in this country and develop yourself. Number 3, learn to understand that the person you are with, the day you make a mistake, may not forgive you. Do not be crafty. Be very transparent with her. If you are transparent with her, if she decides not to be transparent, she's planning your downfall, that's her own business, because you are praying to your God. But you be transparent. Don't play games in this country, because the women, when they want to talk about it, they'll say you did. They will count it as if you're a murderer. Meanwhile, when you look at your punishment in relation to the crime, it's not equivalent. Be honest with all the women you meet. Do not make any false promises. Don't promise someone marriage. Don't tell lies to anybody. Tell them the truth and go your way. Work hard. Save money for yourself in a special place. Save money. Bank account. You can put your money into a money market. You can put your money into bonds, invest. There's so many IRA. You can put your money into all kinds of things, okay? So put your money into something, all right? And then do something about it. Then, finally, so do that. I'm sorry, I had someone was talking to talk to me. So do that. And then the next thing, which is very, very important, and that is the final thing, is learn to try and say, I'm sorry, or to mediate with the woman. It will surprise you how many African women cannot mediate. They cannot communicate. All they do is they keep everything you've done against them silently in their mind. Then one day they plan and destroy you. And they will talk. Like my brother was saying, someone said he took her down. He took her down. But I'm sure there was no point at which they stopped and said, how do you feel? And she would say, I feel you're taking me down. Or how is things going? Communicate so that you may know if this person with you has turned from a human being into a snake. Talk to people. How are you doing? How is everything? Is there a mistake I have made? Is there some things you need to tell me about? Talk. In the end, it will save your life. Because once you talk and the person is starting to show signs that they don't want to compromise, they don't want to work with you anymore, they cannot forgive you, that is a new spirit that is there's no forgiveness. There's no more forgiveness anymore in the society. It's gone. It's now, as you do me, I do you. So when you see that thing, you now know you're ready. Because anytime from that time, anything can happen to you. So I'm advising men, prepare yourself. Go to school. Develop yourself. Be close to God. Forget all the, hey man, what the fuck shit, put your head down and forget, yeah man, you're smoking and bullshit with the fuck and the fucking shit there. Leave it alone. Concentrate on yourself and on your God. If the woman sees that you're a serious person with your life, maybe. But if she doesn't, when she strikes, you'll be in a better place. That is what I'm trying to say to men in summary. If you don't take anything from me, is be proactive. Don't be reactive. If you are waiting for her to strike, you will be done. It will be done. By the time she strikes, for you to now recover to see what has happened to you, is too late. Prepare yourself like no man's business. Prepare yourself. These women who are coming here, I want to talk about the number of my friends who went and married women as they arrive here. The one that we have now that is the record, I won't mention his name, 2 weeks. All she wanted to do was to come to this country. Immediately she landed, she started trouble. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 3 weeks. We have 9 people now in Houston, records of 2 weeks, 3-week marriages. As she just touched down, she started, and she took everything from him that he has been working for years. I'm not saying all women are like that, but I'm talking about my friends from Kenya, Ghana, men. And when these women will talk, you won't know who is telling the truth. But this one, we now knew who was telling the truth, because in 2 weeks, what did he do to you? In 2 weeks, what did exactly? Tell us what he did to you. And at that point, they will start insulting you. Oh, I'm not going to talk with you. I'm a feminist. I don't care. I don't give it. Some of them don't know God. That's why I tell men, your advantage is if they don't know God, you know God. They don't know God. If you look, some of them now, just listen to what they say. They don't know God. God is not in the picture. He's not in the picture. You are dealing with something that may be the equivalent of a demon. I'm not saying all women. I'm saying some.
Yes.
Because
and there's a point there I wanted you to expound a little bit. You said be honest, be transparent, don't do any underdealings. And I saw it happen somewhere in Kenya where the husband was probably selling drugs. When they had issues, the woman exposed his man. But I don't think our men can do that to women. We don't do that. But I'm telling people, stay focused, invest in yourself. Men, we need a boy child in Africa, the African boy child in America. Invest in yourself.
Invest. I don't know how I can, in short, if I can kneel down and beg the men, invest in yourself. Forget party. You will party later. Go to school. All of you who are in those warehouses, start doing online classes. Go to school. That woman that you're putting in school may turn on you because she has not seen money before. This is her first time. So go to school. By the time she turns on you, you will turn and look at her and say, what are you doing anyway? Oh, this money is doing you like this. Okay. Don't say much. Don't slap anybody. Don't fight. Invest in yourself. The battle is not on her side anymore. That woman doesn't care about that she's going to separate her children from the father. I am telling you what is going on now. The anger is so manufactured that you cannot even tell them stop. There's no way. Go into the internet and see how they are talking. You cannot even tell them stop now. It's just anger. He did this, he did that, he brought me down, so let him die. You're like, they're just, it's like the Taliban. The Taliban will fight till they don't even know the original reason for why they're fighting for. They're just fighting with men. They're just fighting with men. No aim. Sometimes when people fight with an idea of, they say in our language, when you slap your child and you fight him and you're angry with your child, you now bring your child back to you. After you correct your child, you now bring your child back to you. This battle, I'm seeing men versus women, and go and look into the internet and books. There are hundreds of thousands of books of what they call the American culture wars. The American culture wars are Democrat versus Republican, gay versus straight people, right? Industrialization versus socialism, which is a big argument now. Capitalism versus socialism. Men versus women. African women just ran and entered the fight. They don't even know the history of it. White women who have been in this, they started the men versus women. They're not using it to destroy their marriages. They're using it to become CEO of companies. They're using it to become pilots and fly planes because they were not allowed. They're using it to join the army because they were not allowed. They're using it to play soccer because anything men were doing, they're using it to do that. But the last place they're taking it to go and destroy is their marriages. African women are not using it to be CEO. African women are not using it to be director. Most African women I know here, 2, 3 jobs a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. They're not using it to climb. They're using it in their marriages. Of what use is it when you destroy your own marriage? This thing I'm saying, you even see people who come and argue it. Hey, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Well, if you see what that man did to me, what did he do?
Alex Indolo is
that you
saying,
cannot forgive.
Your wife is not your relative. She can destroy you any minute. Men, invest in your boy child, invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. I am telling African men, leave this culture. Any woman that passed with big nyash, you are turning, leave it alone. Control yourself and invest in yourself. Later in the future, nothing is running. Oh, beer is not running. Drink is not running. Fine cars are not running. Clothes, jeans, and all these things are of inconsequential things. Develop yourself first. A lot of us men too, because of, and I mean, look at the destruction now. Once they have taken you to court and destroyed, the number of men running away to go and live in holes. The woman has taken the house and you go and live in a hole. Plus she has taken over your bank account. Plus she has taken your license. Plus she has taken everything. And because they know what they're doing is wrong, they will stop. They'll try to find evidence. He killed my grandfather and even killed my grandmother. And then he almost killed, they'll find, because they know what they're doing is wrong. They'll bring evidence. Meanwhile, if you go into it, it was just argument in the house over tax money. Why are you so bent on that money? You see, here's another thing. Psychology, I also have my brother. Another psychology. And I'm very passionate for men. I am very passionate for men. What if these women married a truly rich man who had a house in America, who had a house in Canada, who had a house in Germany? There are men like that in Africa and all over the place. How would they behave? Would they behave like the Americans? Would they behave like the Japanese in the Japanese house? Would they behave like the Canadians in the Canadian house? Or would they behave like they were from London in the London house? It is poverty, my brother.
Yes.
It's poverty. And you see, I was talking to one lady the other day. A lady told me, say, what kind of, that she's really trying to change her life. Is it iPad? Because the other day I asked her, hey, so why are you not going out with a white man? She said, what can that she has developed herself to, what can a white man offer her that she has to follow a white man? Is it iPad? Is it computer? Is it shoes? Look at the kind of car she's driving. That her mindset now is how to open a clinic and employ white people, not to follow them. Because in the end of the story, when all is said and done, she wants to go back to Nigeria. This white man will not, that she knows these people. They use you. Most of those girls have never asked those white men, I want to have shares in stocks and bonds and to be able to start an investment portfolio. Can you help me? Let's see what the white man will say. Hey, I want to go and do a master's degree and a PhD. Can you sponsor me? Let's see what this white man, that he loves just having sex with you and sleeping with you and buying you little cheap things in the supermarket. What will he say? Yes, this white man. Okay, I want you to do this or do that for me. I mean, important things. Show us a retirement fund. Show me your will. Write your will and put my name inside it and my children's name. Let's see. It's just following because of handbag and shoe and computer. Things that don't make any sense. My brother, black men, I am very, very passionate for black men. We must change. We have to now know the times. What they say, the book of the Bible says that the children of Issachar knew the times and the seasons and thereby adjusted to it. Hence, they became very wealthy and very powerful. The children of Issachar. We need to be able to look at the sky and look at our atmosphere and know things have changed. Your wife in America most likely can destroy you at any point in time. So you don't live blind, and leave this woman thing alone. Develop yourself. Hold yourself down. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, develop yourself. So that if she strikes, you just look at her. Some of us look at the most greatest, the other day I was reading an article, they talk about the divorce rape. Do you know what is the divorce rape, my brother? Do you know what the divorce rape is? Okay. When these women go to the court, the judge will ask them, do you have a lawyer? She says no. They give her a court-appointed lawyer. When the man goes, they'll tell him, go and find a lawyer. You go and find a lawyer. How much is a lawyer? Consultation is $2,500. $2,500 is consultation. Just consultation, that the lawyer will agree to walk into court and stand there with you. So guess what has happened in all the divorce cases in the African community? The girl is standing there with a court-appointed lawyer. The man is standing there by himself. So when the man will open his mouth and say, in his African accent, no, it was not like that. I just want to let you, the judge will say, the other lawyer will get up and say, objection, my lord. The judge will say, you shut up. Lawyer, talk. The lawyer will say, he has been beating her. He has been doing this. All the lies will be told. And when it's told, the guy say, oh, no, my lord, make I tell you, say, it has not been. The other guy will just, all he has to do is get up and say, objection. Objection, my lord, and he'll speak small English. The judge and the lawyer went to the same high school as white boys. The judge and the lawyer went to the same high school as white boys. So he's going to say, objection. And you say, the next thing they'll say, finally, what do you recommend? They'll ask the lawyer. Because you are not with a lawyer. And how could you afford a lawyer? They'll say, what is your recommendation, sir? We recommend that the house be handed over to the woman because she has the children. We recommend that the cars will be taken and handed over because she has the children. We recommend that he pays 20% of what he makes as alimony, another 10% of what he makes as child support. We also recommend backdating all child support to the day he left the house because she threw him out of the house first before he got to the court. Backdating, which, sir, they'll do calculator like this, is equal to 20,350. So we went into his accounts and discovered that he doesn't have the 20,350. So we asked for sanctioning of his bank account. We asked for this, we asked for that. They say, bam, 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 case adjourned, everything granted. The man will say, oh, they say, they'll take him out of this court, get him the fuck out of this court. They come out you from court. Now, you now get that letter from your bank. They've taken all your savings out of the bank. They've taken all your money out. They've taken all your money out of the bank. And because you're 20,000 something, your bank account now shows minus 30,000 something or minus 20,000. They've taken your money out. The bank now calls you and says, this other minus that they forcefully took it out of your bank account, how are you going to pay it? You say you don't know. They put you on a compulsory this thing, whereby any job you go to, the job will say, oh, you're already owing. You say yes. The job will say, okay, fine. Meanwhile, the job, a lot of our boys have experienced the thing where you go to a job, they say, can you give us your account for fixed deposit? No, for direct deposit. You say, I don't have a bank account. They say, no, we can't give you this job. You need to have a bank account. Your life ends from there. Your life ends from there. And what would the woman say?
Wake up. Boy,
wake up. African men, wake up.
Thank you so much, Clayton. Thank you so much for coming on and educating the boy child. And I hope to see you again very soon when we have other topics educating boy child. But thank you so much. And we are not going to let you go without something.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Oh baby, you too sweet, oh baby, dance it to the lagwaja.
Thank you so much, Clayton. Did very well for the boy child. Very good education. Nancy Fampia Tiampo. Tell us about the girl child, the Luo girl.
Fred, where did you get that guy from?
He's a kid, boy child. Tell us about the girl child. Hey, you can get headphones. Sorry, you're able to get headphones. Yeah, the echo. If you can get headphones, you can. Okay. I mean, come on. It's great. The boy child has been educated. I mean, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, guys. Invest in yourself. I mean, that's a message. So we will be actually invest in yourself, Wairimu Kimani. Invest in yourself, Wairimu. Invest in yourself, Wairimu. Invest in yourself. Yeah, the echoes were too much, but hey, guys, Clayton is, yeah, it wasn't clear, but anyway, Wairimu, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, guys. We will be having Nancy Fampi coming here, talk to us about the Luopian women and how, you know, how the Luo women have actually formed a global, you know, a global, you know, get together, how do you call it, a global entity, and she's gonna tell us more about their cause, and you know, yeah. So guys are saying this should be we should have a fresh start, and then we're gonna have Nancy Fampi come talk to us. So guys, thank you so much. That was a very strong worded statement from the boy child, and hope you guys have been listening, and it's just great advice to the boy child. So we're gonna be having Nancy Fampi at Thiambo. She's gonna be talking to us about the Luopian Global Club, and we're gonna be talking about how the Nile Queens have woken up. The Luo girl has woken up. No, Luo women. The Luo women have woken up. They have woken up. Guys, watch out for the Luo women. The Nile Queens have woken up, and if you didn't see them dancing and forming their organization, I think you are yet to see, and I'm so proud of them. It's global, you know, Luo women globally. So we're gonna be actually we are going to actually end this part so that the Nancy can have a part on our own. This was a special a show to educate the boy child on how we are supposed to take care of ourselves. So that is what we had, and I agree. This was actually Clayton Udu's education to the boy child. So Nance Fambi Adhiampo, I will restart a new show so that you can tell us about what you guys are doing with the Luo women globally. What is your plan? Are you trying to take over the world? Next, Luo women worldwide. Yes, Janet Powell's Luo women worldwide. We are coming next. This show, this particular, no, there's no bashing Zura Mirosi. No, we are starting a new show, and Nancy Fambi will get us started. Nancy, watch us with your headphones. and get ready. Judy Momanyi, salimia watu wa Kisumu. We're gonna play very good Luo songs here, which includes Nyarusuba by Engineer Ward Phoebe to start us off. Catherine Kimeto, thank you so much for joining us. Team Fred Miss Live, thank you so much. And Baba O, I like it or not, Clayton was speaking the truth. A lot of it. Boy child, wake up. Thank you so much. See you in a minute. And we will be hosting Nancy Fabia Thiambo. That New York girl knows New York like the back of her hand. She's coming next. God bless you guys. See you in a minute.